Hey guys, we'll be starting in just like 1 minute. And then, yeah, we'll take live requests and everything here for part 2 in just a second. We only got like 7 people here now, so we should be able to get to all of you. Should be good. Hopefully everybody's been doing well. I haven't streamed in quite some time. Sorry about that. It's just been out of the game, I guess, if you will. Been resting up, taking lots of sleep. What's up, Ray? What's up, Jeff? What's up, Candy? So we'll just start off with a small set of charts here today, just these first 4, and then for you guys that are up late and chilling with us, we'll take some requests and do all that. Yeah, I missed you guys too. It's been a while. Yeah, I guess I did shave. Yeah, it's been like 10 minutes, I know. Hey, what's up, Huang? How's it going, dude? Good to see you again. Well, hopefully everybody has their wine and all that, and we'll get started quickly here. We'll just get these first 4 charts done, like I said, and then we'll do some requests for you guys. Sound good? Hey, Andrew. Hey, yeah, good to be back, man. It's yeah, I just needed to rest up, dude. I've been working too hard. This is basically like my second job, so it's just been I was running myself a little ragged. Jerry Jones says 40 in hand. Awesome. Hema, nice to see you. Ambrosio, nice to see you again. Good to see you guys. Glad everybody's here. Nice to see all you familiar faces back in the stream, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and get started then. So FLXN, this is one that I was basically like, everybody should get in. It should be good. But FLXN has been getting basically butt smashed by shorts. Yeah, we might be able to do a crypto chart later, Ray. We could do some Bitcoin or something like that. Oh, okay, Sean Stafford. All right, man. Good to see you, dude. So yeah, this one, basically what happened is it got FDA approval, okay, and then the day afterwards they announced a public offering, which is not uncommon for bios after they get really good news. I've seen it, and we've researched it a lot, and it's happened. But what has been insane is literally 100% of the available short shares are being utilized right now. So this has been completely ass-reamed by shorts since the FDA approval. We're talking like over $9 to $10 million a day in shorts actively keeping this down. As soon as it gets to run, it just gets slammed, and it's just been absolutely insane. I mean, as you can see here on this volume chart even, the huge green candle on the day of FDA approval, the next day, an even bigger red candle, and it's been red except for 1 day. 1 day since FDA approval hasn't had a green day, which is absolutely insane. And if you pull back on the chart here, I've marked it. It's now dipped to pre-FDA approval levels. Okay, like it's been completely and utterly slammed. I've never seen anything like it. It's absolutely blowing my mind. But basically, what we're looking at is until these shorts are done, they're going to keep slamming it down. And I have no idea how much longer it's going to be. I have no idea who is trying to keep it down with this many millions of dollars a day. I mean, I pulled up the time and sales here, and what you can see is you see these right here at the top. Well, I might be cutting it off a little bit, but you can see 70,000 shares were bought right at 4 o'clock, and another block of 24,000 shares were bought at 4 o'clock. And this has been happening every day since FDA approval. Right at close, whoever's been shorting all those shares all day is covering right at the end of the day and then starting all over the next day. So it's really until some buying pressure comes in, you know, that's not going to change. And if I calculated it up here, I mean, that's what, 795 shares, and they covered at dudes. Sorry about that. Yeah, OBS, it went crazy for a second there. No, I'm not stealing Wi-Fi. It was just my streaming program decided to go freaking stupid for some reason. But any case, basically, we're waiting for these shorts to start covering. When they do cover, it'll be just fine. But until then, it's like, I don't really know what you can do. Unless any of you have millions of dollars to buy all these shares, I don't really know what we can do, guys. But what Maxwell and I were looking at, if we pull up the 1-year chart here, so back in November 15th of 2016, they did a public offering, shares went down, and it recovered. And as you can see, it was probably shorted this whole time because there wasn't any news at all, but there's a huge ass green candle right here when all the shorts from this public offering decided to cover. So basically what we're waiting on is for that same thing to happen. Okay? And then once that happens, everything will be all hunky-dory, but we're kind of just stuck in limbo until these shorts stop fucking with everything. And that's really all there is to it. I mean, they have FDA approval, they have cash on hand, everything is just fine on the company level. It's just somebody has decided to completely ream this stock right now. Alright, so we'll go ahead and move on from that, but essentially that's what's going on for FLXN, is it's just been shorted to crap. 5 months? It wasn't 5 months, it was, yeah, I guess it was about 5 months. But it had a lot less interest and a lot less good news back at this time too. They didn't have FDA approval or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different than now, but it's still fucked up. I mean, that's just about all there is to it. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and move off FLXN. Basically, I would jump in when you finally see the trend changing, but until then, I don't know, guys. I have calls for November and February, so I'm basically just waiting. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do XXII. And if you guys remember on XXII, I said I was waiting for my entry point from 241 to 251, and then I had changed that later to 250 to 260. But honestly, 251 still may be possible. I mean, however, they do have a conference or something coming up. I think, what was it, the 26th? One of you guys can let me know in chat. But they have some news coming up and everything, but this is another one that is just getting attacked by shorts. It's just been a crazy couple weeks for shorts, and it's been going insane. But, I mean, if we look at the daily, though, and this is, again, we drew this fib fan a long time ago. And these are my markers from a long time ago. And I said, if you remember, if it dips below 285, that's when it's going to be retesting down here, right? Oh, so they have a conference tomorrow. Okay. So, yeah, so maybe the shorts are just trying to play some games so they can get in cheap and then ride the conference news. You know, I don't know. But all I know is that this stock has been messed around like crazy. I mean, as you can see, it went all the way up to 350 over here. Right? It went up to 350 on the 6th of October, right? But ever since then, it's been getting slammed down. Okay? And right now it closed at 267. I don't know what the after hours was, but it closed at 267. Okay? And I just still in my head think that we might see 260 to 251 or so. It's just been getting that. It's the same thing as FLXN. It's just those shorts are going crazy on it. You know what I'm saying? And people aren't holding the stock. They want that quick trade. All right. And if you look, it had another big sell-off right here. It started recovering some, but your last candle's red. And to me, like, it's wanting to ride this fib line. But being that it already tested below it twice, I don't know if it's going to hold or not. And like I said, this is very long-term bullish. The stock is going to be just fine. But in this short-term playing, it's just been getting completely blown up. Okay? And we could actually, I'd like to actually just do a fib fan really quick from this peak here. And let's go to the stochastic crossing. Alright, so it very, very clearly is following this angle of the downtrend. And luckily though, our old fib fan right here, this yellow line, it looks to be bouncing off of it and bouncing off this corner, but that is no guarantee that it's not going to get slammed tomorrow. Okay? Okay, yeah, and I forgot about that. On the 7th, they did offer that 20 million share sale, okay, at 262. So I can almost guarantee you, based upon all stocks I've seen that offer a public offering, the stock at least taps down to that public offering price at least once, okay? And I agree, Mark, I really might get my buy target soon. Okay? So again, long term, the stock will be just fine. You know what I mean? But I mean, I said this way back over here. Hold on, let me move this line. I said way back over here on the 14th of September. I got a ton of shit about it on Stocktwits. But I said it's going back down to 250s. It's going to, okay? And I still think that that's going to happen. especially if you see below the offering price, the 262 offering price. That's just going to happen, okay? The shorts right now in the market have insane control, okay? With their computers and everything, they have so much control. So I would say, honestly, don't buy in tomorrow. I know they have that conference news tomorrow, but wait and see what it does around the 262 range and make a decision there. I personally I've been playing options for this one right now. I have $4 calls for November 17th. So if this conference goes well enough and everything, it should beat out the shorts and it should have time to rise by November. I just don't see it going back to 350 until probably the end of October at this rate. You know what I'm saying? It's just a little too crazy right now. I mean, this is just straight plummet right here. You see what I'm saying? So again, it's long-term great. No problems long-term, okay? Easily by 2018, we're back in this range and going up. But it has so much attention right now that just attracts shorts because they know there's going to be weak hands, people that don't stay. And let's see how it goes, guys. Let's just see how it goes. All right. I do honestly think that we'll see between 260 and 251 now again. And I may even end up buying shares if we see 240s, but there's no guarantee we'll see 240s, okay? And yeah, the FLXN offering is now below FLXN offering on FLXN. So if you take that as a comparison, very well could happen here. Okay. So just keep your wits about you. Be safe on it. You know, the stochastic momentum is turning into a buy signal. The MACD is really low and it's starting to turn back up. But if you look, it started to turn back up twice before and it didn't do anything about it, okay? So you're going to have to look at a lot of stuff and just keep your eyes open on it, okay? Because look, something is killing it, right? The Copic can't even get over the zero line. All right, MACD can't get over the zero line. Stochastic can't get over the zero line. So these shorts are having fun, and there's just really not much you can do about that. You know what I'm saying? There's just not much you can do about that. Let's wait and see how the conference news plays out, and hopefully you guys can get in around 240 to 250 and just ride an easy wave up to $3 again. Because I guarantee you, if you get in around 240, 250, you will see profit again. Like it will not be a problem. It's just a matter of when are the shorts going to let it go, and when is the news going to finally outweigh the power of the shorts? All right. Okay. And then I wanted to take a look at ATRS. I got extremely lucky with ATRS. I got rid of it around 392, and it happened to be like 2 days before the FDA failure. There's no reason I should have got out. It's completely a gut feeling. But again, this company is really strong. They have the EpiPen stuff coming out in like January. They were already phase 3 on their drugs, so the issues had to be pretty minor. They'll probably get those corrected. All right. And it's just going to be a matter of time for this one. Honestly, I think by the time January comes around, they'll be back to the levels it was. They have plenty of revenue streams. Okay. They have cash on hand. It's a good company. They have lots of drugs in their pipeline, regardless of the one that just failed. So this is just a really big step back, but it's not the end of the world for this company, okay? And yeah, Jiggly, this was on my most preferred list. Absolutely, though. I mean, there's no reason it wouldn't have been, right? Since March 22nd of 2016, it's been going up, right? And that's a reason that this shouldn't scare you too much, okay? Because this is just overreaction on that failure, okay? And remember, they have so much stuff in their pipeline that this failure is not going to end the company. And like I said, they were on phase 3. They'll probably get whatever the issue was corrected. The FDA is just being a bunch of douchebags and, you know, giving them something to not rely on. I mean, it was an opiate. I know that they do have, the FDA is kind of anti-opiate right now, but you don't get to phase 3. You don't get to phase 3 without having a viable means to be there, right? If there was that big of an issue with the drug, they would have ended at phase 2 and been told, you know, there's no hope for you at all, okay? So, again, I would say look at the long-term trend, right? They've been going up since March of 2016. They have more than just this one drug. They have a brand new EpiPen generic coming out in January, which honestly I think that's going to be their big winner because there's only been one EpiPen, right? This is going to be the first EpiPen available generic to the public. That's a big deal. If you guys know how expensive EpiPens are, like, that's a big deal. I don't know if you guys know anybody that needs to buy them for their allergies and stuff like that, but that's huge, okay? And I'm definitely getting in before January when that stuff, you know, gets resulted on. So again, I think this is just a minor setback. I think this is an overreaction. And I think it's going to very easily climb back up to these levels, especially when earnings come out. Especially when, I think they even have stuff coming out in November and December as well, okay? I can't really chart it yet, obviously, because, I mean, how do you chart something that just fell this far, right? But we can take a look at it, right, and see what's going on. And just, it's pretty much, it had to have found its bottom here, guys, okay? I don't see it going any lower. If you even look at the fundamentals, okay, like, it can't go any lower, alright? So $2, it went sub $2 for a little bit, but we've been climbing since then, alright? And now we're on the slow road to recovery. So, I think if you're holding, hold. It honestly might be a good time to buy back in if you're willing to wait until January. And I guarantee you, if you bought now and waited till January, you'll make, I mean, you'll probably almost double your money just fine. But it is going to be a couple months from now until we're back to these levels. But it will be back to those levels, okay? That's my personal opinion. You don't have to believe it or not. But being how scooped out this is, and that we're already returning to overbought, we're flying up on the MACD, okay? Like, let's pull up our Copic. Yeah, look, even our Copic, like, there's a clear price rejection, and buying is happening again. So there's faith in the company. They have plenty of stuff to happen, okay? It's just, it's turned into a long hold after that failing instead of a nice swing off the approval. And it sucks ass. It really sucks ass. But just again, look at their fundamentals, look at the drugs coming out, okay? You know, look at the actual company and their pipeline, and you won't be as upset or scared. It's going to recover. It just, the FDA, they just screwed them. That's all there was. They just screwed them on it, okay? Alright. So let's look at TRXYE. Now, this one did get FDA approval. Yeah, Jimmy, it does suck ass. That's all there is to it. It sucks ass, man. Like, Well, if it makes you feel any better, Jimmy, my ATRS shares that I sold, I hopped into FLXN, and that's been shorted for 2 weeks, right after FDA approval. So if it makes you feel any better, I'm down like, I'm down a lot. I'm down like freaking 40% or something like that. Okay. It's just been crazy out there right now. It's just been crazy. All right. But TRXYE, it did get FDA approval, and it did get shorted to heck after FDA approval. That seems to be a common story right now. But unlike FLXN, this one is already bouncing up and recovering. Okay. Yeah, I'm knocking them out of the park. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's more like I'm getting arrested at a park, is what it feels like. That's what it feels like, okay? But again, this is one where I would be like, if you initially look at the chart, don't invest in it. It's flat. It's not really doing anything. But their FDA approval completely changed that, right? But now you have all the bag holders from the past year getting out, and you're getting short attacked. But luckily, like you can see here on the 18th, it's finally rejecting and going back up again. So the value is at least coming into the stock. All right, guys. You know, there's not really too much to chart in it. I think the alligator, honestly, might be best to see what's going on. And if you guys haven't seen the alligator before, basically what you want is you want the blue line on the bottom, green line on the top, and you want those to be separating out like an alligator mouth opening, okay? And so, I mean, it looks great right now. The green line is coming back down towards it, but the price is going back up, so that should change. Okay, that should change, no problem. Whereas on the 60-minute, you can see the alligator has closed his mouth and he's about to turn on his belly. And we don't want that. But, again, like I said, the price is starting to go back up. So if we do our fib fan here, we go down, let's go down to that peak there. If we do another one from here up to this peak here, okay. So it's following this main trend line just fine. It's rejected up, and now it's going to follow this low trend line, okay? So I would say, unless you see it dipping below this price rejection area, you should be just fine at around 333 or so. And honestly, I think it's probably a good buy time for this. Look and see how the morning goes tomorrow, though, first. But your indicators are starting to turn up. You can see your MACD green bars are going back up. Your Copic is curving up. It didn't go down that low either. Okay, it didn't even go down to like -1. That's really good. Okay, MACD curving up. Stochastic momentum's going up. So your indicators are showing reversal off this dip just fine. Okay, that's really good to see. Really good to see. So this, even though it was red on this last candle, yeah, again, it's leveling out here. Not a super hard dip here. All right. Your Copic's a little scary on the 60-minute, but I think with this reversal, it's going to be just fine. But what I would look for is tomorrow, see if it follows down here, or see if we continue up on this trend, okay? If it continues up on this trend and doesn't dip below 361 or so, you're going to be good. If you see it getting shorted past 361, you're going to have to worry about this downtrend, okay? But again, they have FDA approval and everything. Bag holders should be out after all this dippage. We're getting the price rejection that we need. And it's just looking pretty good overall, in my opinion. It's just a matter of which trend is it going to follow? You know what I mean? Like right here, if we do from here to here, you can see this price rejection on the corner, and it's kind of following this line. All right, so that's what we want to see. All right, so hopefully that first part was helpful to some of y'all. I don't know if it was or not, but you know, that's what we looked at, so that's what we looked at. Okay, and let's go ahead and get part 2 going then. And Candy was nice enough to make. So let's grab this list over here. Thank you, Candy. It's very nice of you. All right. So we'll start off with these 4, and then we'll probably do a part 3 if you guys want. If there's still people that have requests and stuff after these. But let's go ahead and let's do these 4, and then I'll take the request after this one, okay? Or after these 4. All right. Hopefully everybody has. I know somebody had a 40. They said. Hopefully everybody has something to drink, or you know, if you do other things, do whatever you're doing. Yeah, HMNY, I don't even know, man. I have 10 shares just to watch it. We'll see what happens. Alright. Alright, so here is LBIX. Now this is one I have no idea what's going on. It's going to be purely a chart look for me. But let's see what we can figure out, guys. So on the 3-year, it has not looked very good at all. Definitely down, low volume, and then kind of stagnant for a while, then been going down since April of this year. And then it's had this spike in the last month. Alright. So overall it's a little spooky, but I mean, if you're gonna smoke crack cocaine, I mean, you might as well do it while you're trading, I guess. So this is a beverage company that bought a movie company, and they had PR. Okay. Well, what I will say is it had some really nice peaks here. But what I'm going to also say is these indicators are a little scary, but they might finally be turning around. As you can see, the MACD, it tried for a little bit, but now it's getting closer to the 0 line. It's been way oversold, at least this last day. And it doesn't seem to like to stay oversold either. This is the lowest the Copic curve has been for a long time. But it is turning around. This is turning around. This is turning around. So you have good signs on the indicators for recovery right now. Definitely bag holders getting out here. Definitely bag holders getting out here. I mean, it's very clear when you go back to the chart of how flat it's been that that's what's going on. Now you guys, in this chart, has there been a lot of shorting going on, or is it just normal sells? Do you know? But while you're responding to that, let me go ahead and let's do some fibs on this just to see what's going on. We'll start at the 0 line at the Copic right here. And we'll go to the 0 line over here where it crosses. Okay. So yeah, this has been very, very unnatural. It doesn't really have a solid trend either way. Oh, lots of shorts? Okay. Yeah, this doesn't have a super natural trend we can follow. But let's go ahead, we'll take this from peak to valley here. Yeah, to be honest with you, it's pretty hard to say. Like if we look at this level it's bouncing off of here, it seems to be just bouncing off the psychological level of $2 even. Which makes me a little scared, guys. Because as you know, my philosophy is when we see these huge green candles, it's gonna retest most of it. And even though it's bouncing off, if you check, if we zoom in here, do you see how close it's still getting? It's still, like, each wick, except for right here on this day, is dipping back down to this level. Now, here it could be a sign that it's going to finally reverse because it had a small dip and it didn't consolidate there. It filled up here, okay? But it does make me a little bit worried that it may retest more of this big gap, and then also because it was a big gap here. Now, technically the gaps right here should have been filled, but you have new bag holders that bought up here. So it's just hard to say on this one. What I would do, honestly, is I would probably buy some shares, but also buy a put call, or not a put call, a put option. I'd probably buy a contract for a put, and then also buy some shares at the same time, so you're covered. In case that way it does crash, at least you can sell your put option and make some money. And then that way, if it doesn't crash, then you get rid of your put option, it's fine, and you have your shares to cover for that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a little nervous about how stagnant it is right here after this huge decline. It's just hard to say. But like I said, your indicators are turning up. It's looking better there. And it has filled in this gap. It's retested almost half of this huge green candle. But again, be careful, because remember these huge red candles going down. Do you not know how to do a put, Ray? I can show you put if you don't know how to do a put. That's not a problem. So, alright, so if we go to our option chain, okay, and we pull up LBIX. LBIX doesn't even have any options, Ray. You're not going to be able to with this one. Sorry. I would teach you a put, but this stock doesn't have any options, so you're screwed. You're basically buying the equity and hoping it goes how you want. Your only choice is to short it or buy it. So, and I wouldn't short it because that's infinite risk. But I can show you puts on another ticker. That's not a problem. But yeah, this one doesn't have any options, buddy. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to buy into a stock that doesn't even have an option, right? So it's just a little risky. I'd wait till it's following a clear trend upwards, but right now, I'm not sure, okay? All right, HMNY. All right, so I can show you guys probably a put on this stock, I think. If you still want to learn about puts and calls and stuff, that'd be a good lesson. Now, HMNY, I actually do have some shares of this. What do I have it at? I have it at $21.95 is what I bought at. Just because I was just like, I'm bored. Give me something to watch that might be interesting. Excuse me. So as you can see, this one is also getting reamed in the ass by shorts. They've actually had some pretty good news going on. Yes, the dragon? What's the dragon? Okay, so we can look at, well, apparently you guys are interested in options, so we can talk about that. That's not a problem. So yeah, this is another one. It's been having good news, but I mean, a stock that goes up from $5 or $2 to $38, I mean, that's not gonna last that long no matter what, right? There's just nothing you can do about that. It's gonna have to find its new bottom and recover, right? And I would honestly say it did kind of find a bottom around here at $22, but people have gotten bored and jumped out, and shorts have taken over for now. I have no idea what the bottom will be. If I had to guess, it'd be right here where all this consolidation is. So around $13. So I'm looking at losing quite a bit of money if I keep holding it, but I don't really care. I'm used to it by now. So honestly, I'm probably going to hold it until it dips down to 13 and just ride the next wave up and see how high I can run it. That's pretty much all I got for this one. But what I'll do is we can use this as an opportunity to look at some options if they have options for this. Yeah, HMNY doesn't have options either, guys. Okay. So again, it's not a stock that's been established long enough. Okay. Because in order to have options, it has to be at a certain stable price or something for a certain amount of days, blah, blah, blah. There's all these rules for it to have options. And also you have to have people willing to write the options. Okay. But again, this is probably going back down to 13. There's no guarantee of it, but it probably is. It is well oversold right now, but if it was done, this would be curving up through, we'd be getting our buy signals. And look how skinny this MACD split is. Okay, the Copic's still going down. Alright, it's not looking good. I mean, the Copic right here on the daily, it still has so much room, it can run negative. We just got a sell signal in the MACD. Stochastic is still steadily going down. So it very easily, as much as it could go to 13, it could go back down to $5. Okay? People really overhyped the news on this one with the subscriber base and all that, and it just ran. Okay? Oh, Citron did a savage short attack. I don't doubt it, man. It's like that's what's been happening nowadays. You see a stock go on a great run, get stable, and then some bitch-ass company comes in and shorts the shit out of it, fucks over retail. Retail gets tired of it. They hop out at a loss. Then that company, when they're done shorting, buys up all the shares cheap, rides it to the moon, Retail buys at the peak of the moon launch. That same company is going to short the shit out of it. Retail gets fucked again. They sell. That company stops shorting. They buy back the equity, write it up. Same story over and over and over, right? And that's why you don't chase, but it's really hard not to chase. Okay? But yeah, honestly, I honestly and truly expect to see this back at 13. I own shares at $21, guys, so I'm getting fucked too. Don't get me wrong. But that's probably what's going to happen, okay? That's just probably what's going to happen. And I don't really know what else you can do about that. Yeah. I mean, if it can hold right here at $16, where it's doubled bottomed, you see this right here, right? It's double bottomed right here. Well, it kind of broke through today, and a lot of solid red here. I don't know, guys. Wait till it starts reversing again, okay? I'd say just wait till it starts reversing again and then look at it. Yeah. The CEO said he'll beat the short. Well, unless he's insider buying, it's not working. And he needs to start ramping it up. But yeah, don't buy until you see a clear price rejection. Or maybe try to buy at 13. And if it starts dipping from 13, good luck. That's about all there is to HMNY. Alright, so let's look at staff. Yeah, this looks crazy. Yeah, so this is another one of those ones that I'm going to say probably a little scary to jump into. I mean, your Copic is going up steadily, but lots of no volume days. Lots of weird jumps. And it's been pretty stagnant since October of last year. It seems we've looked at this before, because I had this 114 line drawn. Yep, that sounds about right. Because I drew that line at this peak, and that was a peak here that didn't beat this one, and it was a peak back here, and it was only the middle of here. So I can almost guarantee what I said was, unless you see it get to the top of this dip, it's probably not a good play. And it seems to be already dipping below. Yeah, we're already testing into this gap range right here. So yeah, it seems the only thing it's bouncing off of is that 75-cent level. But if it breaks 75 cents, it's going to easily go back down to 70, maybe even down to 68 or 63, 64. So yeah, I don't know, guys. Whatever causes gap up was not good enough to beat a past level in April, a past level in November of last year, and a dip on October of last year. Okay. Yeah, so Jerry Jones, I'm just not sure, man. The fact that whatever caused this bump didn't beat even a peak back here, and it's already getting sold like crazy, and it seems the only thing holding it up is the 75-cent psychological level. It's hard to say, man. I mean, the Copic could easily go down more. The MACD can go down more. Okay. Stochastic momentum is oversold, but I mean, that could stay oversold for a while. There's nothing saying that has to come back up. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you had a really nice alligator here. It opened up with the green on top, and it rode out. But if you look, your green is starting to go below red, alright? And it's meeting up with your blue line. So that could very easily turn over on itself, alright? Let me pull up the Ichimoku. Yeah, I mean, just even on a few days from now, you're going to hit this cloud. And your resistance cloud is actually at that line we drew a long time ago at 64 cents. So, I just don't know, man. You had a sell signal back here on the 11th, and it's been dipping further away since then. So, it's just, I don't see any reason to buy it or hold it. Okay? I don't see it. Alright? Again, it should be beating these previous levels. We should have some sort of an uptrend. But instead it's peak and sell off, alright? And hey, Torian, what's up, man? So yeah, I still don't see it, guys. I still don't see staff, alright? Alright, so let's look at OPGN. Apparently we have looked at this before. I got lines drawn on it. And, yeah. So I'm sure you can tell what I'm gonna say already. Yeah, I mean, these lines are peak, never reached again, peak, never reached again, peak, never reached again, peak, never reached again, peak, never reached again. And it's just now working its way through this huge gap down. Okay? Your indicators are going up. It looks fine there. But I have no way to tell you how high it's going to go before it goes back down again. I can probably bet you, though, it goes up to 42 cents from here. This peak way back in July. And if it doesn't beat 42 cents pretty easily, it's going to go right back down, okay? So, Sam, it's a really, really risky play, dude. I mean, just look at the 1-year chart, okay? Yeah, it was at $1.25 in April, but nothing has sustained it. Nothing has given it reason to go up. It's only had huge gap downs and stagnation. Alright, buddy. So, yeah, it's just, until you see this beat 42 cents, you might be able to ride it up to 70-something cents, maybe. But you have a lot of bag holders right here, I can almost guarantee it. And as soon as it starts getting up to these levels, they're going to probably want to sell it, okay? They have a conference tomorrow? Alright, well, tell you what, buddy. If you have shares right now, if you get a spike from that conference, you better sell it immediately, because that's what everybody else is going to do, okay? Alright. I can guarantee you, man, if there's any spike from that conference, okay? Anybody in here is going to sell really fast, alright? Yeah, somebody get Tori and a Diet Coke. I can't even really chart this one, buddy. I'm sorry. It's just too flat. There's nothing I can get out of it, okay? Alright. Okay, so if you guys have requests for part 3, let's go ahead and take those in. It looks like Candy has taken a few. Isn't something with a Q at the end bankrupt? I don't know if we should look at a bankrupt stock. Hey, what's up, Mighty Millions? Okay. Now, guys, for part 3, because I know people get bored and leave, if you're not here for part 3 and you requested a ticker, we're going to skip it, okay? Because it's just not fair, you know what I mean? It's not fair to the people that stayed if somebody requested a ticker and then left, you know what I mean? So, just make sure you stick around if you requested something, and that way we can help you out, but we want to make it interactive for everybody, okay? SGMO, okay, we can add that one too. Alright. So I think that's a pretty good start for part 3. So what I'll do, let me just make a post. I'll make a post on Stocktwits about it, just so we can make sure people know. And again, if you guys want to post on Stocktwits about us streaming, you can. More the merrier, but you don't have to. If you're here and you're not in the Discord already, make sure to join the Discord. If you want to help me pay some bills, you can donate to the PayPal link in the description. You obviously don't have to. My stream's always free. It's just if you want to help me out, that'd be sweet. But if you don't worry about it. I'm not going to hold anything against you for it, okay? But again, definitely at least join the Discord. It will help you out. We do tons of great research in there. You'll have a lot of fun. But yeah, guys, if you don't mind giving me just a short break though, I just need to go to the bathroom and get some water and stuff like that, and then I'll be right back. And then we'll go ahead and do part 3. Let's see, you'll say we'll return at 10:13. That sounds like a good time. And then we'll come back and we'll finish up, okay guys? Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. TRXYE. Basically, TRXYE was kind of a wait and see, I think. See how it ends up. We'll see how it goes. Kind of hard to tell, TRXYE. Alright, guys. Well, hopefully everybody has refilled their drinks, gone to the restroom if they need to, all that fun stuff. Nice play at Mighty Millions. He said he got in TRXYE at 255 and out at 397. That's nice. Yeah, I'm eating a cheese stick. What are you gonna do? Sometimes you just need a cheese stick. Alright. Okay, so we got ECYT here. Now this is one that went on a really crazy run, right? Maybe I am. Now, it seems to have found its bottom. But I'm not quite sure. Last time we looked at it, I said if it breaks this line here at 528, it's probably going down to the bottom of the green candle. And if you guys look, not only did it go down to the green candle, it broke through it, right? Okay. So it seems to have rejected a bottom now. But there's no guarantee it won't test down to 373. But it seems to have bottomed out and is bouncing back up. Okay. Let's see here. It doesn't really have a super clear trend yet. But we can try to map it out. I'd like to see one that has options though, and I'm betting this one doesn't. Because you guys did want to see something with options. I know that. Oh, this one does, guys. Are you guys still interested in learning about puts and calls or no? Because if you guys don't care, I won't do it. But if you guys want to see puts and calls, I can do that really quick. Okay, you guys do? Okay. Alright. Well, first of all, before we do the puts and calls, let me just chart this out really quick. So it's a little bit overbought now, but the MACD and the COPIC have plenty of room to run. Look at the Ichimoku. Okay. So on the Ichimoku, on the 60-minute, it just entered a huge resistance cloud. So you want to be a little careful about that. But we do have a little bit of a buy signal, even though it's a little bit overbought. COPIC is actually pretty extreme on the 60-minute though. I honestly think it's going to reject and bounce down to the bottom of the cloud looking at this one. But I'm done with my cheese stick now. Sorry for eating on stream like that. I don't know. Did have a huge green candle through the cloud, broke through the top of it, and that's separating away pretty nicely right here. Our conversion line from the baseline. So it's kind of hard to say. I really don't like that resistance cloud there. But if you look, it's on the daily, it's just fine above it, even if the conversion line is going down a little bit. This is a tricky one, guys. Because like I said, it's such a huge run, and it still hasn't tested the top of this gap. Okay. So it's a little bit hard to say. A little bit hard to say, in my opinion. Let's take a look at the alligator really quick. Yeah, your alligator's starting to close his mouth. So I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure on it, guys. I definitely would watch tomorrow, because that's a huge green candle. I think it's going to go down tomorrow. But it's one I wouldn't buy at 505. I would wait till it starts running up away from 5 again. Okay? Because like I said, it very easily could go back down to 373. So definitely watch tomorrow. But in terms of calls and puts, they're a lot easier than they look, guys. So basically what you have on a call and a put, I'll make this bigger here. Basically what you have on a call and a put is you have a strike price, which is the price it will be activated at. You have an expiration date, which is the latest that option can be exercised. Okay? And there's a lot of Greeks and other things going on as well. But basically what you need to know about an option is the strike price. So this is saying, we'll go right in the middle here. This is saying at $5, at a call, you'd have the option to buy 100 shares at that price. Okay? So a call that is a strike of $5 expiring November 17th means that any time up to that date, you could exercise that option to buy 100 shares at $5. So what makes a call more valuable is if it is above that strike price. Because obviously you'll be buying the stock cheaper than it actually is at that time. Okay? So as you can see here, oh, I don't have my inherent value. Hold on. Let me add intrinsic value. Okay. So as you can see here, the strike price of $2 on a call has an intrinsic value of $3.05. Okay? And that means that the stock price is $3.05 above the strike price. So it automatically has that value in it. Okay? Rather, you can see the intrinsic value of a put is 0 because the stock price is $3.05 above there. Okay? And what a put is the option to sell 100 shares at the strike price. Okay? So that's why this one at $8 has an intrinsic value of $2.95, because you'd be selling the stock at $8 a share even though the price is $5.05. Okay? So what gives an option value is how much time is left on it and how much in the money it is. Meaning in the money is how much intrinsic value it has from the strike price. Okay? So if you look, even though at $5, this call is only worth, well, what did it sell at last? It was 59 cents, right? So that would actually cost you $59 because it's for 100 shares. Okay. But if you go into April, that $5 one, it's worth $1.15 right now on its last trade. Because it's not only the strike price, it's also the expiration date. Okay? Because the longer an option has to expire, the more room there is for it to run or not run, and that gives it time value. I honestly don't know if 90% of options expire worthless, to be honest with you. I couldn't tell you. But again, so you have the time matters, the strike price matters, and a bunch of other stuff too, the volatility of the stock, and a bunch of other stuff. But what you really need to know is how much in the money is your option and how much time is left. Okay? So basically, if we zoom back out here and we go to this stock, you would be betting on, like, let's say we did the closest one, October 20th, right? So October 20th is right here. Oops. Okay, so that's really soon, right? And that's the last day that these options can be exercised, okay? So basically what you would be doing if you had an option that expires on the 20th, you're going to be betting on the strike price. Do you think it's going to be above where it's at now? Do you think it's going to be above 505? Or do you think it's going to be below 505? Okay? So if you wanted to get, if you thought it's going lower than 505, like if you thought it might be $4 or below by that time, right? Let me get my horizontal out. If you think by October 20th it's going to be below $4, you could get a $4 put, okay, and sell it when it's below $4 and be in the money and make money. Whereas, if you think it's going to be above $4, right, you'd get a $4 call and sell it for that much more money at that time. But the closer it is to expiration, the less the option is worth. Okay? So, basically, my personal opinion would be get something further out. What I'm going to do would be just barely out of the money. So, if I thought that by January 19th of next year, okay, if I thought that right here, let's go to January 19th. If I thought by this date here, it's going to be above $6, I could get a nice cheap call at 55 cents, which would be $55, and hold it until it's above that $6 price and sell it for a lot of money. Whereas if I thought it was going to be below that $4 or $5 mark, I get a put here. See how the $5 put is out of the money? It's not highlighted. So you get a cheap $5 put, wait till it dips below $5 and sell it then. They're really pretty simple. It's just there's a lot of math involved to the value of it. Does that help you guys at all on options like calls and puts and stuff? It's basically a bet. You're betting on what the price would be at a certain time and giving people the option to buy it or sell it at a certain price at that time. Okay? So again, if it's in the money, it's going to be highlighted here and they're going to be worth more, right? Like look at this jump. The $6 call out of the money is 55 cents. But this $5 call, even though it's only 5 cents in the money, jumped up to 95 cents, okay? That's a 40-cent jump right there. Why would somebody buy that $4 put I was talking about? You mean the one on the October? On October, you would buy a $4 put for this one on October 20th if you didn't believe that this is going to sustain and you think it's going to dip back down. Which, like, as you can see, this gap goes down all the way to 380, 375, right? So if you think that this stock price will not hold, and you think that by October 20th it's going to dip below $4, you would get that $4 put. Okay? Because then what that means is the stock price is below $4, but somebody has the option to sell 100 shares at $4. So they would make whatever gap there is between the actual stock price and that $4 strike. Okay? Now, and also very rarely will retail actually exercise the option. It'll mostly be like institutions and stuff that'll do that, okay? Most people don't actually exercise the option, they sell the option. All right? But again, the guy who bought the $4 call, what he is betting on is that by time he sells his $4 call, it's going to still be above $4, and you'll make the difference on that. All right? Well, let's go ahead and move on to AESE, so we don't get people too bored here. Is the person who requested AESE here? Hope everybody has a nice drink. Having a good night. Hopefully you guys are having a good time. It's not too boring, anything like that. I try to be entertaining. All right, James. So, are you looking to hold this one? Are you looking to buy in? Are you looking to sell it? What are you trying to do with AESE? Yeah, no problem, Tom. Absolutely, man. Okay, so you're holding a small position? Okay. Well, on the daily chart, your indicators are headed down, but your alligator is still opening up, which is nice. That's what you want to see. You want to see the green line flying away from the blue line here at the bottom. Now on the year to date, it is a little scary with that huge gap down back in April, but it seems to have recovered from that. Bag holders have gotten out, and it's pretty much been flat since August. It does seem to have a slight uptrend. If we go from like here, yeah, so it's not a super strong uptrend. And with these sell signals going on, it makes me a little bit wary of it, man. Makes me a little bit wary. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really seem to hold these peaks at all. But let's see where we are at now. Okay, so we haven't quite dipped to these bottoms here. But if you look, we have triple bottomed. And that can be a little bit scary. Especially with the white candle here. But it has consolidated here very nicely. And it does seem to be somewhat trying to reject where it's at now. The only thing that makes me scared is seeing the stochastic momentum going back down. Our MACD fast line is going back down. But in the long term, this Copic is going up a bit, and that is nice to see. But it is a little bit scary, man. It's not the best looking chart I've seen. It's not the worst either, though. But if you look here on the Ichimoku, we got our sell signal, and it's been going really hard. It couldn't hold the consolidation cloud, and it's still dipping even further away from our baseline. Okay, buddy? And I don't know, it should have already been fine based on how long it was in this cloud back here. It should be still holding up above it. But now, when it does go back up, you're going to have to test through a cloud no matter what. So that is honestly a little bit scary. Let me look at the accumulation though. Yeah, and if you look, man, every time it hits a peak, it gets sold off. And even though this peak was higher here, you see this one right here, the accumulation amount was much lower than back here. Alright, so that means not as many people bought it, but your price peaked. So probably a lot of quick buys, and then that was just building up for shorts to get back in. And it's been in a sell-off ever since. Wow, and if you look, yeah, so that's not what we want to see. It's been basically stagnant, and it's already dipping down below. Okay? Especially with these sell signals on the daily. That's a bit scary, man. It's a bit scary to me. Let me pull up the volume. And yeah, dude, your highest volume days are sell days. Okay? So what that's telling me is they're letting the price ride up without touching it, letting these small amount of buyers buy in and get hyped. And then more people than buyers are ready to short it and sell it. Okay? So I don't know what you're holding your position at. I don't know what your value, what your cost average is or anything like that. But I'll be honest with you, if you don't see it bounce off this 203, $2 mark, start heading upwards, just be very careful. Because again, this is levels back in, September 10th, August 28th. Okay. Peak back here in August 4th. So you can see it's been pretty much the same this whole time. All right. And now it's technically on a slight uptrend. Technically, but just barely. Look how slight that is, okay? So just be very careful, man. It's pretty much sideways. You're going to have to ride some small peaks, all right? That's pretty much all there is to that one, all right? All right, so let's move on to IDXG. Is the IDXG person here? Yeah, no problem, James. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely, man. Here to help you guys out. Oh, you also requested this one too? All right. And just as a quick reminder, guys, for all you here, if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord, okay? Absolutely join the Discord. And as a much more minor note, if you want to donate, you can. Help pay bills. You don't have to. You never have to pay, but I'll take it. All right. Let me go ahead and pull up the volume on this one too then. Yeah, buddy. This is another one with super low volume. It had a nice big, like 3 volume day, but ever since then, pretty much nothing. And again, let's pull up the year to date. Yeah, again, man, it's just sideways, buddy, okay? So this is going to be another one that you're just playing small peaks. And yeah, just that's pretty much all there is. We've looked at it before. I even said, it's going to go to 133. It did. It's been slightly rising since then. But if you look, it's been above that before. Okay. It is luckily above this gap. But now you have this gap to worry about over here. Okay. So, I don't know, man. It's just super, super sideways, dude. You might be able to swing it up to like 218 or so. But honestly, if I was you, if I saw it reach the top of this green candle at 196, I'd sell it, okay? Oh, I broke 500 subs? Yay! I'll drink to that. I had no idea. I haven't been looking at my subs. Well, awesome. Good deal, guys. And thanks to everybody that's still here right now. All 24 of you. I really appreciate it. I really do. Thanks, guys, for sticking around. But yeah, James, try to ride it up to $2. But if you see it start dipping into this lower gap range, just be very careful, okay, buddy? That's pretty much it for IDXG, man. There's not much I can chart on it, okay? All right. CLSN, is that person here? And this is another one of those ones that just kind of came out of nowhere. Oh, Saravan's no longer here? Alright, we'll move on then. BW. Is that person here? I eat booty. Hey, I eat booty. Are you in the YouTube? Well, in any case, even if you're not, this one's pretty easy. It's broken the trend that we drew last time, and it's riding in this middle range. Thanks, Mighty Millions. Thanks, bro. Okay, so Jerry, you requested too? Okay. Well, this one seems to be okay-ish. That gap down was so recently, but it's not terrible because of a couple reasons. Hold on just a second. So the only reason I'm kind of okay with this play is because of the higher highs. Okay. Alright, so they're not extremely higher highs, right? But they are higher peaks, right? Got a nice jump off of that past peak. We finally broke through this peak here and made a new peak here. Alright? Short term, I would expect it to go down and test this crossing at 382. Alright? I would almost 100% in my gut say it's going to retest that 382. No problem. Because as you can see here, was it had this peak, dipped hella low, came back up and rode along that peak for a while, right? So I can almost guarantee you, especially with 2 red days, it's going to go down, test 382, ride it for a little bit, maybe even until November 1st, and then start going back up again. Okay? I would definitely be looking to buy in on the next dip. I would not be buying in right now. I would be waiting a bit. Okay, as you can see here, test, finally breakthrough, and heavily sold and shorted here after the spike. Huge gap up, and as you can see, we've only tested down half of this gap up. Okay? So it's not a guarantee that we'll go down further, but in my opinion, you're at least testing the bottom of this huge green candle, and that's going to be at 395. And if you start to see a break from 395, you're going to probably see around 381 or so, okay? So if you haven't bought in yet, I would wait. If you're holding, you're probably holding past November 1st, okay? And again, we didn't even have to redraw anything. This fib fan has been just fine. It still fits the whole chart, okay? And, you know, we could even, the only thing I might do is pull up our Copic. Let's do a fan from the, zero crossing here. And go up to this zero crossing. Yeah. So as you can see, we've seen this a ton of times. Unnatural peaks, back to major trend, try to test major trend, and failed, okay? So what you're going to be looking for on this one is you're going to look for it to hold 403. If it doesn't hold 403, you're going to be looking for about $4. If it doesn't hold $4, you're looking at about $3.95, okay? And especially if it breaks $3.95, that's the top of this candle over here. Especially if it breaks $3.95, you're going to have to be careful for $3.87 or so, okay? So, my honest opinion, wait and see. see where it rejects, see what fib trend it follows. Okay? But it's a little scary right now, and there are plenty of gaps to retest still, okay? But your most likely opportunity is going to be this double crossing right here, and that's actually the price point right now at 404. Okay? So I'll just say, if at a week from now, on the 24th, if you're not at $4.04 still, be very careful of it dipping further, okay? Alright. I think soon a Q is going to be kind of crazy because the Qs are usually bankrupt or something. Yeah, I mean, come on. I'm sorry. There's just this one I don't know, guys. I mean, it is getting volume, but nothing is really happening. Huge gap down. Look how high the Copic went, but the price didn't really reflect it that hard. I mean, it did, but not that crazy. And this is literally a 2-cent stock. No. Sorry. Alright, BIOA. Alright, another one that is fallen stagnant, fallen stagnant, fallen stagnant. I'm not going to recommend this one either. I'll recommend it. Tell you what, if it breaks $1 on a strong uptrend, maybe. But as of right now, I can't recommend it. It's already at the same level that it was back on the 20th. And that level is just barely in this gap, okay? And that gap down was way back on the beginning of August, okay? Still hasn't beaten a gap on the August 8th. So until you see this on a very strong uptrend, I can't recommend it. I'm sorry, okay? I still can't recommend it. Alright. Now, SGMO does look a little better than the ones we just saw, okay? This is kind of what you want to see here. Alright, we got a 1-year chart pulled up. Yeah, I don't know, just Sunaku, that's going to be all you, bro. That's not something I'll recommend, man. I'm sorry. There's just too much not there in the chart, okay? Their news might be awesome. They may have great stuff going on, but until I see something happening positive in the chart, I can't recommend it, dude. Okay? And again, I don't know anything about it. Okay? I'm going purely on this chart right now. Some of these stocks I know about, some I don't. But alright. Well, the requester for this one isn't here anymore. But this at least looks halfway decent. Okay? We had a gap up in May, and it didn't break it. Okay, so Mr. Sam is here. Okay. So, this one does look pretty good, Mr. Sam. Alright? Gap up happened, retested a little bit of it, but it's been up since then. Alright? And I actually, Sam, you are lucky person. I'm going to do the Illuminati method on your chart, okay, buddy? Not everybody gets the Illuminati method. Let's do this. I don't really want to do it on the daily. I want to do it on the 60-minute. But I can't do that unless I'm on a... Let's see here. Will let me do it this far out? Yeah, I could do it this far out. Okay. Let's go ahead and get our fib fan going. We're going to go with the XXII. We're going to have to do it on the daily. No other option. It's too long of a trend. Alright. So we're going to go at this XXII crossing here. And we're going to go up to our peak. Alright. Now let's go ahead and measure out that segment. Oops. Yeah. Measure that back. Got about, what is that, 77 bars? So we'll go out 77 bars. Oops. Ah, geez. We'll go out 77 bars this way. We'll be on the 126, 2018. Alright, so let's go ahead and redo that. The fib fan. Or was it this one? Okay. Then we do our fib fan the other way. About 76 bars out. Looks pretty good. Alright, we can delete this segment. Let's get our fib arc going. Oops. For some reason my mouse isn't working with me today, guys. Got that one. And let's make it a nice other pretty color. My eyes are so dry. Okay. There we go. Alright. So, if we look here, we can see very clearly it wanted to follow this, could not hold it, dipped well below, gapped through our middle fan, stopped at the arc, rejected the arc and went bottom of the fan, rode along the arc edge, went through the top of the fan, finally broke through the arcs, top of the fan here, back down, rode along in dead man zone, rejected off the fan, top of our pyramid peak, back down to the fan. Okay. So what it really seems like this stock likes is this trend line right here. Okay? Alright. So my guesstimation here is even though it broke through, if it can do like right here and bounce up, you should be okay. But odds are it's probably going to test down at least to this middle one right here, in my opinion. Okay? Just because of how much of a gap up this was. I mean, look how many green days in a row this was right here. Alright? And look how it tested below, tested the bottom here. So you very easily could be testing this cross section right here at 1343. And you also, because if you see it crosses right here too, and you also very easily could test this cross section here, where this bottom is, at the top of the candle is here, cross section here, at about 1270, okay? So in my opinion, don't buy in yet. Wait to see where this rejects, and I'm betting you most likely it's not going to reject until 1343 to 1270 before it bounces up again, okay? There's just, there's too many intersections down here. There's too much past action down here that it hasn't recovered yet. I mean, this huge gap up range, okay? Double bottom here. It's probably going to want to at least test to the top of this green, or at least on this intersection here on the fibs, okay? So I would either be looking to buy at a price rejection from 1343. If it breaks 1343, keeps going down, look for around 1270. If it breaks 1270, then you got a mess. If it breaks 1270, you're looking at least probably 1139. Okay? You bought at 1530. If you bought at 1530, my honest opinion is don't cut your losses yet, but be willing to wait a little bit. Be willing to wait at least until what I would do, I would not cut your losses yet. Look for a price rejection tomorrow and Friday. If you don't get that price rejection upwards tomorrow or Friday, you're going to probably at least be holding until the end of October to the middle of November. Just based on the chart. I obviously don't know their PR or anything like that, but just as you can see how it's following this trend just fine, okay? And it's double tested here. If you break this double test, you know, it is going to go down further in my opinion, okay? So, yeah, like I said, I wouldn't cut your losses yet, but if you're down, like, was that 14, 15? Yeah, man, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Like, if you break below 1343, I would cut your losses. But I would at least wait until Friday to see if you get some sort of positive price rejection, just in case. Because I'd hate for you to cut your losses and then it actually does follow this positive trend line. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to cut your losses too early. But I also would hate for you to hold if it dips past below 1340. All right? It's going to kind of be up to you and your gut though, man. You're going to have to watch the L2 during the day. You're probably going to want to watch the 30-minute charts. Okay? I wouldn't worry so much about the 5 and 10-minute charts on this one. It seems to be more of a longer trend kind of guy. I'd probably watch the 30, 60-minute and your closing, okay? I would probably base it upon your closing and opening price on Thursday and Friday. And then on Friday, if it is dipping, maybe it's time to cut your losses. unless you want to hold until sometime in November. Okay, bro? And yeah, no problem, Sam. Absolutely, dude. All right. No problem, Mighty Millions. Really, English. Really glad you're here, man. For real. Good to see you again. All right. Well, I'm feeling nice and feisty. I'll take like a couple more requests if you guys have it. Otherwise, we'll probably end stream. But if you have a couple good charts you want me to see, we can take a look at them. But maybe only like 2 or 3 more, and then we'll go. I know it's kind of a shorter stream tonight, but we started really late and all that, and you know, I do have my other job. All right. Well, actually, you know what though? Yeah, let's just yeah, just for it's an even 2 hours right now. Let's go ahead and call it. Yeah, no, it's a little bit late, guys. Let's go ahead and call it for tonight. Thank you all for being here, everybody that was here. And you know, we may stream tomorrow. We may stream on Friday, but we will do another stream one of these days, in the next 2 days. I'll post a link on Stocktwits and on the Discord and everything. And but yeah, sorry I didn't stream for so long. You know, I just needed a few days off. I was kind of burning the candle at both ends, trying to do this and the job and everything like that. So, but yeah, we'll be back to more of a regular schedule now. Yeah, like I said, I was just doing too much at once. But yeah, thanks guys, and I'm glad you had fun. If you're not in the Discord, again, join the Discord. If you want to donate to the PayPal link, you can. Absolutely no requirement to do it. Absolutely not. But if you want to, you can. And yeah, let's go ahead and plan on doing one tomorrow. No guarantee on tomorrow, but I want to, just because we haven't done it in so long. So let's go ahead and plan on a short one or a normal one tomorrow, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay, guys? All right. No, thanks a lot. No, thanks to you guys. You don't have to thank me. Thank you. I'm so glad you guys have been here. All right. So if you want, watch an ad. I might play one, but if not, don't worry about it. Go ahead and leave, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay? Have a good night, guys.